Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, social media, technology, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. And of course, you can find some of those things in the community post here on the main channel for YouTube, as well as shorts on YouTube. And of course, you see those on our alt tech sites as well, Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. So all that is all there for you guys. And of course, I want to thank you across New Tech as well as here on YouTube for all of your guys' continued support.
We start things off from bounding comments. Now, here's what's interesting is because many of us as commentators cover different stories that we obviously find very important and significant. And this was one that Tim Pool also covered, so he kind of beat me to it. But I was saving it for the Friday Vlog, to kind of give more of a laid-back approach to the political discourse. But I found it funny, though, that here we have in our modern times the political arena now dipping into streamers and your regular, I guess, average, everyday individuals that started their businesses right from their homes and now have created these massive followings across social media to a degree and to a point that now you have the political elites out there, as it were, just to give you a frame of reference, now reaching out to these individual people because they reach the masses, right? They reach the regular everyday people. And that's really where the fight for hearts and minds begins when it comes to politics. Now, see, back in the day, many of you may remember that we had ABC, CBS, NBC, and a couple of local stations and stuff. And so the media was able to have full and complete control over what you heard and what was being said. So back then, when you heard it on TV, of course, you had very little other resources other than maybe a telephone calling so-and-so or maybe a local paper. But today, with anyone who has a phone or a laptop or an iPad or a pad or any access like your cell phone, your PC, whatever, access to the internet can now be out there in the arena of ideas. And this is what we talk about here on the BuzWeaver channel. This is what panics the left and the establishment and the Democrats and to an extent maybe even Republicans. And that is that ordinary everyday people can now reach wide audiences across the spectrum. Now, I'm a tiny little channel, 8,000 subscribers, not even a blip on the radar for YouTube. Yet here on the channel, we reach people across the world. So all of you guys who watch, I appreciate your guys' continued support. Of course, hit that like button if you are watching now. Of course, if you weren't watching, you wouldn't be able to hit the like button. But suffice it to say here, we read on. So from bounding comments, Twitch streamer Kai Cenat says he's rejected multiple stream requests from Kamala Harris' presidential campaign. I don't give an F, he says. It's fascinating. I tried to post a video of Kamala Harris saying the B word, and no way, shape, or form could I put it on a short without it being restricted or limited. So it's interesting. So we read on, and I'll try to, spare the language here. Massively popular Twitch streamer Kai Cenat has claimed that he has received multiple stream requests from Kamala Harris's presidential campaign, all of which he supposedly rejected because he does not give an F about politics. So he's trying to be apolitical here. He's just trying to do his thing, be his streamer, do his streamer content, and not be pulled in or sucked into the continuous battle that we see and we talk about here on the BuzWeaver channel, of course. So he just wants to kind of set it aside. Now, I can't play the video or the audio here because he goes into this, obviously, just these expletives that you see up here, of course, but he's talking about it. So it's presumed that he's being contacted by individuals who are part of Kamala's, part of her core groups of people, right? Her entourage of people that are working for her. I don't think Kamala herself called him, of course. He's just basically saying he's getting calls from the Secret Service, calling him 5 times, and to try to set up some sort of streaming interview with Kamala Harris. Now, this could be part of the strategy because, as you know, when it came to Donald Trump, we saw a big streamer here, Adin Ross, a gaming streamer who apparently was kicked off of Twitch. I didn't realize he was kicked off Twitch, but he's on the newer platform out there, a new streaming platform called Kick, K-I-C-K. And that's where he does all his streamings up to 500,000 I don't know if 500,000 view his stream, or maybe he has 500,000 viewers on his stream. But now, of course, this is from TMZ here. Fans demand sleepover stream with Kamala to counter Adin's MAGA Fest. Now, of course, we also know that Jake Paul had that interview with Donald Trump as well. So another big, personality type. Well, Logan and Jake are both personalities as well, but they also have their own streaming. As a matter of fact, many of the former journalists and commentators and so forth that are on major networks are also on YouTube and Rumble and other outlets also. So you have to keep all this in mind, that while most people, I guess your average everyday people, they just look at headlines and so forth throughout the day, so they're not really getting into and diving into the research and so forth like we do here on the BuzWeaver channel, so they don't always know what all is going on, but they see the headlines. So now, of course, this is all going on in the background, and I thought it was kind of amusing because also as Tim was covering this as well, he mentioned the day before that Rolling Stone was complaining that, maybe Trump violated a campaign finance, right? Maybe he's in violation of campaign finance because Adin gave him that truck. Here, let's see, I have it here. Gave him that, that Tesla truck with the infamous icon logo there on it, and a Rolex watch, and I don't know what else it was, but I know there was a Rolex watch, and it exceeded the 3,000 donations. So, of course, Rolling Stone and another article, I don't remember who the outlet was complaining about it. But now Kamala Harris has no choice but to do a stream with Kai Cenat. I don't know whether or not he's going to do one. He says he's not going to do one with her. But I found it kind of amusing that all this is going on. But it's not unusual, because we go over here to CBS News. Democrats turn to influencers to help share their message on social media. Now, there was a big get-together that Donald Trump put on where many social media creators went to the White House several years ago. But as social media feeds have become key battlegrounds in the race for the White House, Democrats are deploying a fleet of influencers to try to win over voters online. That is not unusual. As a matter of fact, it's argued that many of these people are being paid to do it. And so we have 𝐀𝐦𝐚𝐳𝐨𝐧 made a name for herself dispensing beauty tips on TikTok when a 23-year-old posted a video of her White House bathroom break. Her 500,000 followers took notice. Now, I don't know whether or not that was when she went for the Donald Trump interview or one that was done recently. I was just shocked. I was like, do you guys see that marble? Cenat told CBS News. Cenat was one of the few dozen social media influencers who were invited to the White House to watch the State of the Union address and meet President Biden. Okay, so this was a different time. So obviously she went there during the State of the Union address to meet with Biden, but then she goes into, obviously now they've selected her to do other things. You see, they've talked her into doing these things, and this is the way the media and the establishment works, right? They get you in, and then all of a sudden they have you hooked, and then next thing you know, they have you doing all these other sorts of things. So she first heard from Democrat super PACs and then Biden administration after posting a video following the fall of Roe v. Wade that went viral. You may recall, of course, when the incident took place with the Supreme Court, and it was leaked information, allegedly leaked. Of course, we know who benefited the most from that leak. So that's why everyone's kind of leaning towards what particular group, of course, probably made the leak. So she goes on to say, like what she's going on in here. And this is important to say as well, excuse me. While Cenat would not say how much she was being paid, she did note a video just for a creator in my size, an average can go from 3,000 to 10,000 upwards. And that is average. Once you're on the radar of certain advertisers and so forth, they'll usually pay you anywhere from 3 to 5 to 10,000, depending on your audience, right? Depending on your audience size. Now, there are advertisers out there that will do this that will utilize smaller channels like my own, for example. It's been years since I've reached out to any sponsors. I used to reach out to peripheral providers, right? Mouse, keyboards, cameras, that sort of thing, gaming equipment, and that sort of thing. But I never heard back from them because at the time, I was a very tiny channel. So obviously they have a certain threshold that they want people to meet before, they're willing to dish out, several $1,000s or even several $100s. But there are advertisers out there that will work with smaller channels. If that's what you want to do, you can do that. But a lot of channels are using these methods to supplement their channels. And of course, as I've said here, across social media, you may have even heard some of your favorite creators saying, that they're having to work double and triple just to meet, just to get their average earnings that we used to get, right? Just to get what we used to get on average, you have to work almost double the amount of time. But I found it fascinating, and I wanted to save this for the weekend. So I kind of feel a little behind on this, but I did want to bring it to your guys' attention because I thought it was a bit funny. Because here's Kamala Harris and her entourage, her crew, her business people, her people, trying to get her lined up for a stream with this particular Kai Cenat. I think he's just a strict gamer. I don't know what all he does. I've never seen any of his streams or any of his work, but I think it's kind of funny that he's just outright rejecting it. Now we'll have to keep an eye on it and see if he actually does come through with it. So we'll just kind of have to keep an eye on that and see whether or not that manifests. But I just thought it was kind of funny. Wanted to share it with you, and that's what I have for you guys this Friday.
All right, guys. So that's going to wrap it up for this Friday vlog. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. Below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to if you want to follow me there. On those platforms, I do post much more content than, of course, here even on YouTube or in the community section of YouTube, of course, as you guys will get notified quite often. But nonetheless, you can find all those there. And if you are a Prime member or order frequently from Amazon, I have my landing page links down below this video. And if you're interested in a VPN, a virtual private network, I have that available too. TrustZone is one of my favorites, so you can take advantage of that. But of course, you can always help out the channel by your likes, your shares, and your comments, which are greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for always supporting the channel, especially now in 2024, as it is a very wild 2024. So appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on that if you're watching on YouTube. You guys can subscribe via that and select to be notified when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys behind the Galaxy phone camera next week.